corresponding jobs markets as well, so that they can be easily verified. So ABC ID is mandatory. Okay, if you have any problem, come to my office so that it can be resolved immediately. Okay, so without ABC ID, I will not also be able to generate your identity card. Okay, so this is the identity card of mine. We will also provide you the same identity card to all of you, each of you. Okay, so you have to wear this regular basics, regularly. Okay, that is the same thing the student is taking. It is mandatory to wear this one. Whenever you are entering to the campus, you have to do this. Now, I am talking about the scholarships. That whatever the the pertinent question he asked, that whatever based on the HS or the undergraduate marks sheet, whatever the admission process during your admission, whatever the percentage you have based on your that particular undergraduate or the HS marks, that will not be taken care of. But I am talking about the other scholarship like Swami Vivekananda scholarship, Oikosri scholarship, National NSP scholarship. Okay, this kind of scholarship I am talking about. Clear? Okay. So all of you have to be during this 3-4 days or in the next month, first week, all of you should do you will receive this identity card. Okay, so all of you utilize doing that one. Okay, and usually we have a common forum that all the students are actually coming good if you are coming in a uniform, although at the university we don't enforce that one, but every Friday, this is a mandatory date, all of you should come up with that particular some kind of t-shirt that we will provide very shortly to you. Okay, every Friday. Anyone can welcome to take care about that any Monday or Friday you can use. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday you can use. But Friday is mandatory to all of you. Okay. Apart from this, we have a central library facility. Apart from the pharmacy library, another different library we have. The library is situated in our first floor. Okay. So you can, there's a ample book is there. All of you advised to go to the library regularly. You will get the content from your faculty members digitally, but it is better you can also go to the library as well, so that you can update yourself from there as well. Okay. So library is also open every day, like 9:30 to 5:30 every day, 9 to 6 you can also go. Okay. In respect of the registration, in whoever passing or enrolling for here for the undergraduate course, except the education, they will be getting automatically the registration if you have already submitted your documents to the admission cell, like your school living certificate, okay, original. But those who are studying the education, that is a B.Ed, as well as the postgraduate, who are coming from the different university, they have to submit their original migration certificate immediately to the admission cell, so that you can able to get your registration certificate. Without submitting that migration certificate, you will not receive your registration. Okay, so you have to apply the registration migration in your previous institute or university or college, whatever, you have to do that. So that, and you have to take a copy, you will keep your copy of migration certificate with you and submit that to the admission cell, so that we can have a look that you have already submitted all the documents, then only we can provide you the registration certificate. Okay? And all of you are aware that this is a semester system. So now, until now, you have already studied in a 1 year, right? So here you have to study in a semester system. From this year onwards, HS, that is also started, they have also already started the semester systems. So who are familiar with the semester system, so you have to be always constant in touch. When we are admitted in the college, we have to give the examination in two patterns, part 1 and part 2. After 2 years, part 1, and then after 1 year, part 2. Okay? Then it have a pattern change year-wise, part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay? Now, again it has been subdivided into semesters. Okay? So, usually we have the examination in December and June. Okay? So already we are starting late due to different unavoidable circumstances. All of you are aware of it. Okay? So your examination is already knocking at your door. So be attentive from the very first day of your class so that it will not face any problem. So as I have already mentioned, we have, as being a multidisciplinary university, the examination system is also different. Okay? Except pharmacy and education. So we have a mid-semester examination, apart from the end semester examination. And there is always a continuous evaluation process as well. Tomorrow morning, Controller Madam will elaborately say this. Clear? So you have make a note of it. And this all things, whatever I am saying, that is already uploaded in the portal. So from there you can download and check from cross-verify. If you have any doubt, you can talk to your faculty members. So this university, we have developed a mentee kind of thing. Mentorship program is there. So every student should be allotted to under a particular faculty member. So whatever the problem you are facing, or whatever you willing to share with your faculty, do it. Not the problem, whatever you wish to do it. So that it cannot get to the worst. Keep in mind, this is a completely, I can say, assure you, this is a ragging free campus. Okay? Keep in mind. If anyone, any senior, anything happens to you, please immediately inform us. Us means your mentor. You will be inducted very shortly into your departments from the second half of this today. Okay? So your mentors, your faculty members, your HOD, your deans. Okay? If nothing is happening, come to the register section. We will be take care of it. And there will be some, you can go along. There are some numbers is there. You can call upon on it. So obviously, being a responsible citizen of India, being a student of the JIS University, you don't have to fear to anybody. But obviously maintain the decorum in every aspect. If you feel that you are not feeling safety, you are not feeling, you are facing any kind of problem, immediately report to us. We will take care. That is, I can assure to you, everyone. Okay? And all the campus, it is a CCTV already is there, everywhere. So, whatever your act of action is monitoring throughout. So you have to be report very early so that we can take immediately. Something happens today, you are reporting me 3 months after. That will not help us. That's why repeatedly saying, report to us immediately. No need to fear, no need to do anything. Okay? I will obviously expect you should not extravert the thing to us. We will take care of it. Faculty members will be there, anti-ragging squad is roaming, so no need to think here. No need to worry about it. You are coming here for the study, we will take care of you. Okay? Confident? Okay. So you have to report to us immediately, so that we can take the measures immediately, so that it cannot be go beyond a limit. Who are staying at the hostels, the same rule is there. Okay? You don't have to take, if you are facing any kind of problem, immediately inform to the warden, immediately inform to your faculty, members, as well as your mentors, as well as to the register section, so that we can take care of it. Clear? So, you have to be very attentive from the very beginning, so that you can cope up. There is no, as an academics, what we can say, that first semester is usually taken care of, course curriculum is designed in such a manner so that you can easily cope up with this. But from the very beginning, you have to start this. Because there is a long layoff, right? Almost 5 to 6 months you are sitting idle at the home. So it is very difficult from the day one to start in a bank. It will take some time. So if you come to the university regularly, you will talk to your faculty members, gradually make the friends. It will be easy for you to accommodate much more faster. Okay, that is the thing. That will be easy to help you to grow. So with this, I am once again welcoming all of you, and thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the university rules and regulations. So moving ahead, we have next regarding a session on physical exercise, yoga and Indian culture, where you will be getting the essence of Indian knowledge system through physical exercise, yoga and Indian culture. And for this session, I would like to call Mrs. Oritrinath, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, for conducting this session. Ma'am, you're requested to come to the dais.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My topic is Indian knowledge system, physical exercise and yoga. I am supposed to tell on this. So before going into my topic, I want you all to do a very simple breathing exercise. Okay. 5, breathe in and breathe out. Yes, it is very simple, very easy, and you must think that yes, she is going to teach yoga, the same thing, same anulom vilom and all. Yes, but still I want you all to do this. Deep breathing and deep breathe out. Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, start. Breathing, hold, breathe out. Again breathing, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out. Breathe in, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out. Breathe in, hold for 5 seconds, breathe out. Okay, many of you have not done. You all are too disappointed that ma'am is doing all these things. And some of you have done, and I can say that maybe to some extent you are feeling little bit of difference. Now again I will do this exercise with some physical activity. Okay. Sit on your seat, and if I say breathe in, raise your hands first. All of you. Now those who were not doing the breathe in, breathe out exercise, all of you have raised your hands, right? Okay. So if I say breathe in, you will do this. With a deep breathing, you will do this. And if I say breathe out, forcefully you have to do breathe out. Okay? You all are ready? So raise your hand first. Breathe in. Breathe out. 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 So, any differences? Yes? Anyone? Please raise your hand. If anyone has felt any difference, please tell me. Anyone? You? Yes? Yes. Very good. So, in the first time, I told you to do only breathe in and breathe out. Then I saw many of you are smiling, you are talking with your friend, and you are not very much interested doing the breathe in, breathe out exercise. But whenever I ask you to integrate some physical activity, to add some physical activity with the breathe in and breathe out exercise, then everyone in the auditorium, you started doing this exercise. Because with the breathe in and breathe out exercise, you are doing some physical activity also. Okay. And that is the main essence of yoga. So yoga is, anyone in the auditorium, do you practice yoga? How many of you? 1, 2, only 2 people. How many of you go to gym? Many people. How many of you are interested in other kind of sports? Many of you. Okay. So first let me talk about Indian knowledge system, then I will tell you about yoga. Okay, the integration of yoga. Yes? Any problem? You are not getting your seat? Okay. So Indian knowledge system, this is a term which is introduced in NEP 2020 to integrate the traditional and ancient Indian cultures into modern scientific and multidisciplinary approaches. Okay. So Indian knowledge system. Any idea about Indian knowledge system? Anyone from any background? Maybe science, maybe arts. Anyone? Yes? Yes? Vedic maths. Yes, very good. And any other thing? So Indian knowledge system is not only limited to the philosophy part or the ancient yoga practices and other areas. Indian knowledge system is spreaded everywhere in our education. Okay. So it may be you are coming from the science background, you can get some idea from the Vedic maths, as she said, or the traditional architecture of temples or traditional buildings. You can see how there in some temples or even in some historical monuments, you will see some iron pillars. Have you seen? Yes? Which is built in the past and it has not changed, it has not decayed. The weather has not done any harm to the pillars. In Qutub Minar, I guess you can see this type of pillars, or in Puri temple you can see, or in many other temples also. That means in Indian history, the people used to use some materials or some techniques so that those monuments are even carrying their own characteristics, even till now. The weather could not harm them, the time could not decay them. most of the South Indian temples are built of granite stones, which is considered as the hardest stone to do artwork. Okay, and the weapon or the tool that was used to do all the carvings was steel. So all these things were done centuries ago, maybe. So people on that time, they used modern techniques, and we cannot even think of those techniques now. So even now, if we have to do some modern research or to invent something, yes, anything, the white shirt, you want to ask anything? I thought you were smiling that you want to ask something. Okay. So even today, we cannot invent all those things what our ancestors thought. Simply like that, yoga is something which our ancestors thought for us. Now, we all study. You all have studied and you have joined our university. But with study, only with study, we cannot achieve something. Why? Just like when we are doing only breathing and breathe out, we could not focus on the breathing technique, right? When we added some physical activity to my breathing exercise, only then my concentration was on the breathing. Similarly, yoga is not only, most of you must think that yoga is some physical exercises, some asanas. But yoga is a concept, it is a whole area of study where we have to integrate physical exercise and mental health. So mental exercise, physical exercise, breathing technique and lifestyle, all these will be integrated together for a better living. Nowadays we will find various blogs or various YouTube videos on simple living, happy living, ikigai or many other things like that. But in Indian system, it was already there. So yoga in India, it was consisted of 8 steps. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Now first 2 steps, Yam and Niyam. Those 2 steps are for all the lifestyle changes and all our habits, daily habits. Like there are some restrictions for us, like we cannot steal, we cannot tell lies. Now in deeply there are other meanings, like what is lie and what is truth. I'm not going into there because I don't have much time. But in the first 2 steps, yoga teaches us to say something, to do something good, or to not do something which are harmful for me and my environment. Later, the Buddhist philosophy also, this Yam and Niyam was carried forward in the Ashtangik Marg. After that, so the first 2 steps of yoga is not about any physical exercise, not about any pranayam, anulom, vilom or any other kriya. They are about your behavior, your discipline. Okay, so in traditional Indian people, they were so much focused that if you cannot control your mind or if you cannot control your behavior, you cannot prosper. They used to believe this philosophy. So first, if you are studying, now you must think that why ma'am is saying all those things and why, how these things are relevant to our teaching. So first thing, in the student life, if you cannot follow proper discipline, like Atul sir before me, he said he focused on the carrying of I-card and all the rules and regulations of university. So if you don't know about the rules and regulations, if you do not follow the disciplines or the manners properly, you cannot move forward to your next step. So once as a student or as a human being, first we need to follow the basic disciplines. After that, after Yam and Niyam, there will be asana. After waking up from in the morning, how many of you do yoga? only 2 people have raised your hand previously. So not yoga, but any other exercise, maybe running, jogging, skipping, anything. 1. And how many of you, after waking up, just scroll down the Instagram posts? Only 1. One is.
Shocking.
Yes, you are not honest. The first 2 steps are already not followed. Okay, so after waking up, there was the tradition of doing the Surya Pranam. So what is Surya Pranam? The mantras, the chants? No. It is a 12-step exercise pattern where you have to follow ritualistically, in a ritualistic manner, you have to follow 12 steps. Why 12 steps? These 12 steps or these Surya Pranam was considered as the warm up for the day. So if you wake up, once you wake up, you cannot just scroll down your phone. You have to do some physical exercise so that you can connect, you can recollect yourself, your motor movements are proper, you are working on your physical activities. Yes, after 8 hours sleep or 7 hours sleep, you are again starting your day. So you have to be very focused on your motor activities. And after that, as per your requirement, you can do some asanas. So the asanas, which nowadays we consider as the only meaning of yoga, it was only a step in the traditional yoga practice, only the 3rd step. So first, in the first 2 steps, we will use the the behavioral exercise. After that, asana, the physical exercise. Then comes pranayam. You must have seen elder people doing pranayam, breathing, breathe out, anulom vilom, and other things. Pranayam is the breathing technique, and breath is the only thing that makes you realize that you are living, you are alive. Okay, so that's why pranayam is very important, because many of you don't know, or many of you forget to breathe properly. Just a few minutes ago, when I asked you to breathe in and breathe out, hardly a few of you have done that. Only when I asked you to raise your hands and do some things, only then you concentrated on your breathing properly. So try to do at least 10 minutes of intense breathing practice every day. It will obviously help you. We waste many times, many seconds, many 10 minutes in our day in doing nothing. So instead of doing nothing, if you practice only 10 minutes of deep breathing, you can use apps, and it's better if you don't use apps, because when you are using apps, your mind is also focusing on that app, that what the other person is saying. When it is coming from inside you, only then it will be effective. So try, at least in the beginning, try 5 minutes. I don't know how many of you will do. How many of you will do 5 minutes deep breathing technique? Okay, some of you. Great. So after doing the breathing techniques, pranayam, there will be pratyahar, dharana, dhyan and samadhi. Now the first 4 steps are for everyone. We can follow. Anyone can follow the first 4 steps. The last 4 steps are a little bit difficult for a homebound person, for any person to do, because for the last 4 steps we have to do some tyag, like pratyahar. We have to do something, we have to resist ourselves from doing something. Okay, suppose you want to eat biryani and you cannot eat biryani, this type of thing. So this is a very small example. So after that, dhyan, dharana and samadhi, all these things need longer concentration, longer time, longer involvement. But first 4 steps are easily, they are feasible for everyone. So yoga means not only the exercise. Yoga means the integration of everything into one single practice. And And then the physical education. There is another part, another keyword. One is Indian knowledge system, one is yoga, and one is physical education or physical sports. So how many of you are actually interested in sports? Which type of sports you are interested in? And mostly boys, I have seen. Only a few girls have raised your hand. So what type of sport? Any kind of. Anyone else? Badminton. Okay. But in ancient tradition, there were some rituals of doing sports. Like you have heard about the akharas or the yes? Yes? Yes. Very good. In ancient times, the sports were means of entertainment. Nowadays also, we see sports, or we do some of us do martial arts or something. But in ancient times, it was mandatory, not only for the boys but also for the women. So it was there. So the idea of integrating IKs into modern education system is to bring back the scientific thoughts or which are already there in our culture, in our tradition. As I said, in science, India has done so many things which nowadays we cannot even think of. In arts, they have done so many things. Have you ever heard about the 64 colors or colors? The 64 colors. Nowadays we talk about skill development. In 64 colors, in Indian knowledge system or Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, there was a 64 colors which used to tell us about or teach us about performing arts, hairstyling, metallurgy, or many other things, archaeology, and many other things, which nowadays we are again bringing back. So it is always very much important to integrate what our ancestors have already discovered and have already practiced, because this will help us to do something better. We don't need to follow the Western trends, because we already have so many things in our country, in our historical monuments or in our historical books or shastras. Go through them and bring all those things which you will find something interesting in anything from there. So bring them and integrate them in your new knowledge system. Only then we as an Indian, we will move forward and do something new, innovate something new. So it is very important, from any background, whichever background you are coming, arts, science, philosophy, commerce, even in commerce. See, in each and every field, there are some Indians who have innovated something, who have started something. We have to carry forward the legacy. So, you all are aspiring people who want to do something in your future. Please look into what your ancestors have said. Try to find out the reason and integrate them into your modern style. Then we will be doing something new with our very own education system, very own knowledge system, and please try to integrate some physical exercise, some kind of yoga, or some kind of sports in your daily life. Otherwise, one day it will be very difficult for us to sustain. Nowadays we tell about sustainable development, we tell us about minimalism, we talk about modern systems or happy living, the concept of happy living. You don't need to go into any foreign tradition. Just look into your ancient tradition and you will find everything. Okay, so that's all. I wish you all the best for your university days. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us the essence and importance of healthy living and teaching us the concept of yoga and motivating us. I'm sure those who are not practicing yoga from tomorrow onwards will involve in yoga. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next, we have a very important and significant session on anti-ragging, followed by alumni interaction, which will help you to learn from the experiences of your seniors. So for that, I would like to invite Dr. Dipankar Mishra, Dean of Students and Alumni Affairs, to guide us through the session. Sir, you are kindly requested to take the dais.
So, very good morning to everybody. So, how you have spent your last 2 days in this university? Fine. It was a lunch to you, and so many important words you have heard from our distinguished guests. And actually, nowadays we can see there are so many kind of harassment or whatever you say ragging in the university, in the institution campus, as well as in your residential also. So these are, have you heard me properly? Okay. So these are the very important aspects in case of whenever you are new at the institute, at any level of institute, and there are so many things you are entering into the new university or new institute. There are so many things you have in your mind. That means there are some pros and cons are there you have to follow, and some seniors will be interact with you. There are so many things are there. So do you know the incident happened in our West Bengal or as well as in our country? There are so many remarkable incidents already we have heard about the new in our news or in our in daily social media platform we can hear about. So anything you have faced some kind of problem in your school level, or those who are coming already from different institutes, so you can just say your view. Those who are masters, how many masters students are here? Oh, so many. So have you experienced any kind of uneasiness at that institute? Some political, some institutional, senior students interaction, within the interaction, you have faced some kind of problems or some kind of uneasiness? Have you experienced it? Anyone? Nobody. So that's good. So here is also you will face a very healthy environment, and you will comfort here in any aspects. From any aspects you can peacefully go through your studies in this coming sessions. Correct? So here are some facts or some terminology. You just remember it, because now you are in first year and next year you will be the senior. Correct? So that will, the legacy will be continued through yourselves actually. Here seniors are very cooperative, and in terms of in case of whenever you are facing some problems regarding your education, regarding your any kind of activities through non-academics also, the seniors will always helping you out, and you will feel comfortable, I am assuring you. If there are some kind of problems you are facing, then there are departmental level some committee members and squad members, and that will be intimate to you after whenever you are going into your specified classes. And if you think any kind of problem you are facing, then you can share your problems and share your incidents to that concerned teachers, correct? So what is ragging? Actually there are some misconception of this terminology. If you think something not in your favor is going on, you think that is one kind of ragging you are facing. So is it true? Sometimes you are not facing the actual fact where what you are actually you want, and that is against your thought, and you feel that that is not the thing I am expecting, and that is called ragging. Is it feasible? সিনিয়রদের ইন্টারাকশনটাও একটা কিন্তু ইম্পর্টেন্ট পার্ট। ডু you know this? And that interaction will be healthy interaction, not the interaction after which you will feel some headache, and you will feel some nervousness, and you will feel some negative thoughts in your mind to whenever you are coming into the next day in this institute. So that is the thing where the conception of ragging, somehow there may have some misconception. Sometimes we have seen that some first year students is mentally harassing on the first year students also, not the second year or third year or seniors will do all times this kind of thing. And sometimes it may seem that some first year students misbehave to the second year students also. That means seniors may be that somehow. Did you see the Munna Bhai MBBS? Everybody see. So what happened there? The seniors who are in first year, they want the ragging actually to themselves.
Excuse me, sir. कहाँ पर?
सीट फुल हो गया तो देखो कहीं पे सीट कहीं पे फाका है तो देखो उधर चले जाओ. So in the Munna Bhai MBBS there are some cases where some aged students of first year, they want ragging actually, and after that seniors are uncomfortable for that kind of situations. So there may be any scenario within the first year to second year, or within the seniors up to fourth year or fifth year, whatever the course curriculum you have. So keep in your mind that always be helpful and always be polite. Not like that you are saying same lines to your friends and some arrogance are there. That is not expected. Okay. So ragging, basically physical ragging nowadays almost we are not seeing this kind of physical ragging, whatever you say, but mental ragging may be some cases we have seen, and after that it turns to physical. You have seen the incident of Jadavpur University last year, I think. Some students naam chilo cheleটা ভুলে যাচ্ছে, and he has been mentally tortured and make him to to jump from second tier to the ground floor. So that is the thing, the physical coming from the mental abuseness. Okay, so mental abuseness is a crime. Actually, in terms of ragging, we can say what any kind of harassment, what to whom you are making your some your thoughts imposing to something to somebody, and you want some funny moments or funny reactions from the others, that is not accepted actually. Okay, so this is the ragging, and there are several laws for this punishment, and that will elaborately explain to our another session. You will obviously you will present there, and all the laws, all the detail of laws you can think about what kind of laws for what, which crime, which laws will be applicable. And generally there are so many laws created by UGC and as well as the government of India, and there are so many penalties also. And that is treated as a criminal offense, first of all. And these regulations actually UGC created, modified in 2009. Before 2009 also there are some regulations, but in 2009 there are some strict regulations will be has been imposed to the institutes level, and as well as there are so many places where ragging can happen. Whenever you are joining into your a company first time, there may be in such cases কোনো নতুন জায়গায় জয়েন করছো চাকরিতে, সেখানেও হতে পারে। তো in any places and in any institutions or in any kind of situations you can face some abnormal behavior from anybody. So that is not the thing nowadays. That is not acceptable at any circumstances, and there are very strict punishment on that, and it will make your career finish, because there have been a provision of imprisonment as well as monetary fine, 25,000 or 3 years imprisonment. Or imprisonment means your career is actually in your career, that is the black spot for your entire life. So make it clear. And there are some incidents. These are the major incidents I have just jotted down here, and so many local incidents also you know better than this slide. There are some incident happened in 2024 recently in Kerala. Second year students attempted suicide due to severe ragging, underscoring the deep psychological impact of such acts. कुछ acts के through mental torture हो रहा था, and the students could not actually survive for these acts. And in Andhra Pradesh there are also these are the major incidents. Engineering student, and majorly you can see some engineering colleges this kind of scenario has been we are facing. In recent IIT Kharagpur there are some incidents we have heard recently. Have you heard this? In IIT Kharagpur some students fall suicide, attempting suicide, and a death has been actually happening there. Either Kolkata. Recently, either Kolkata, one incident was there also. So many places you can see, and sometimes it is not being highlighted outside into the social platform, but there internally so many kind of incidents, little incidents are there, and that will make a huge impact into the new student's mind. Correct? So why ragging is harmful? Is it one word you can say ragging, or a mental torture? You can say mental torture, or maybe some physical torture. Physical torture nowadays, there are so many institutions are covering with a CCTV, and here also, and some physical tortures cannot be seen properly, but mental torture is going on still now. So within the first year, I have also some complaints in the earlier institute where I had my started my career in Future Institute of Engineering Management. There are some first year students dragged to the another first years. Some mechanical students or some mechanical or electrical students, first year students, they have been mentally tortured to the first year students of BCA, first year students of BTech, other streams. First year is making some problem to the first years. So that is not expected actually. Here seniors are very cooperative. Whenever you have entered here, and you can realize that seniors in all aspects, they are always helpful to you. And if there are some problems, then the contacts will be spreading to you and you will share your problems. Definitely. There are provisions for this. But initially you can just realize that sometimes you can face that some instructions or some set of some rules the seniors is saying to you, and you are treating as a you are being dragged. That is not the thing actually. You have to be cautious on this also. Correct? So there are mental health impact, academic and life disruptions, erosion of trust, and institutional damage. Obviously, these are the major points that are the laws for this kind of mental abuseness. Correct? So always be peaceful, always be helping mind to others. If you are you resolve some problems, or you know the solutions, you will share your friends, those who are not aware of this. That is the thing you have to maintain, and within this your mind will be a very helpful mind, not build up with the criminal mind. And this kind of ragging incident or mental tortureness will build your mind as a criminal mind. So that are the things. Always be helpful, always be free from any kind of unawareness or any kind of thing which are not actually the as usual for your daily activities. Correct? So you know better than this. I think those who are seniors, but in first year in some other departments, and they have already gone through this kind of scenario, or this kind of scenario they have been seen to their friends in other institutes, they can realize these things, and they will just help to the other students, those who are bachelor's level, into the bachelor's level, and then those who are in master's level, they already to some extent they are quite aware of this. So always be helpful. I expect from you from the day one also. And as per UGC and AICT regulations, there are so many things have been imposed to all the institutes, and that are very strict. That means mandatory affidavits if the students are facing or creating some problems, they have to submit the anti-ragging affidavits at the time of admission or pledging compliances. And strict monitoring. CCTV is everywhere. So if you think you are not being highlighted to our teachers or our administration, that is not the truth. Everywhere you can see the CCTV is monitoring you, correct? So this will keep in your mind, and there are several committees and boards also for anti-ragging, and you will, all the information will be spread out to you. What are the who are the committee members and who are the squad members? Initially, what to whom you will be interact, correct? And there are some numbers that are the common numbers. You know it very well, and in our institution level, there are also the numbers will be spreading out. Acha. In this university, these 4 terms you have to be remember. That is zero tolerance campus, enhanced surveillance, dedicated squad, and the support system. We expect not a single case of mental or physical abuseness or ragging will be registered. কি হবে তো একটাও কেস দেখতে চাই না লাস্ট ইয়ার কিন্তু একটাও কেস নেই তাই তো লাস্ট ইয়ারও নেই আর বিফোর লাস্ট ইয়ার মানে 2023 অলসো দেয়ার আর নো কেসেস দিস কাইন্ড অফ এই ইয়ারও সেই ট্র্যাডিশনটা বজায় থাকবে তো ফর দিস ইয়ার and in case of any seniors will make some problems. First of all, you have to tell your seer first or your concerned teacher, class teacher, those who have been assigned, and after that you have to raise to the squad members of your department, concerned department. Okay, in every department there are two or three squad members, I think, and they will help you out. Okay, so keep it in your mind. These are the ragging free campus. Everywhere you can see the posters, and there are another institute just adjacent to the university, that is Narula. And be careful, because some of your friends may be admitted there also, I think. And the NIT, that means Narula Institute of Technology students, and the university students totally different. Campus is somehow adjacent, but the students or their system is monitored by their officials, correct? So you have to follow the university rules and regulations, and don't interact with the NIT students or some other. Suppose your friend is admitted there and you are interacting to your friends in between your lunch time, and somehow you have faced some problems, and that is not accepted. So within the campus, within the university campus, you will be always stay here, and after college hours, you can interact with your friends, those who are in your neighbor institutes also, correct? So always be cooperative mind, correct? Last. So okay, so very welcome, warm welcome to JIS University, and your choice is very appreciable, that you have choice your one of the important phase of your life. You have selected JIS University. That is a very appreciable thoughts, and just enjoy your curriculum and enjoy your academic session, and make our institute proud to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You see, sir was speaking about anti-ragging. Rest assured, if there are any instances of untoward incidents, you are requested as well as expected to report it without any hesitation to your departmental coordinators, and we can assure you that we will come down heavily on anyone who has instantiated any acts of ragging. Having said that, you should also keep this in mind, that ragging is not a one-way traffic. It is not just like your seniors are coming to talk to you in a way or in any gesture that is harmful to you, mentally, physically. It can be the other way around as well, right? So you should keep this in mind as well. When you are a student here, it is also your responsibility to mete out the behavior that is in accordance to university standards. I'll give you one example and then I move on to the next session. How many of you have watched this movie called Animal? Lot of you, right? So you remember the scene when Ranbir Kapoor walks in with a gun because his elder sister had faced an act of ragging. So none of those acts are encouraged. Nobody will be ragged, be it your seniors, be it you. We're all friends, peers here in a collaborative learning process and atmosphere. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Dipankar Mishra, for that session on anti-ragging. Next, we have a special session on gender sensitization. And for that session, may now welcome Dr. Shumanta Chakraborty. Ma'am. Dr. Shumanta Chakraborty is an assistant professor of sociology at Shibu Kanu Beshe University, Purulia. Her research interests span gender studies, folk culture, sociology of everyday life, religion, literature, and environment. She completed her PhD on folk toys of Purulia, examining their links with local beliefs, values, and symbols. She has also served as the coordinator of the Department of Women's Studies and actively contributes to gender sensitization and awareness programs. But before ma'am delivers a lecture or session, I'd like to request Dr. Obik Acharya Chaudhary, head of the Department of Biosciences, for a small round of felicitation. Sir, may you please come on the stage? So once again, how many of you have heard this adage called "Mard ko dard nahi hota"? And how many of you believe that? One or two hands. Three. Okay. That is why you need gender sensitization program. Any hands raised to this means that you need to be sensitized. You need to understand that the society works on a hierarchy that is very irrelevant. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am. I now request ma'am to deliver a session on Let's Talk Gender, a special session on gender sensitization. Ma'am, over to you.
Sorry, I was too busy setting up the slide and setting up the PPT. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Shuparna Ghosh, for inviting me here. Shuparna is a darling junior. We go back really long, and I am thankful to Obik. Obik is a junior as well, but I haven't really met him. Thank you. Thank you, JIS, for having me here. So I was listening to Dr. Dipankar. He was talking about ragging and he was talking about a lot of things, and then sir who introduced me was also talking about something called, am I audible? Can you hear me? Who cannot hear me? This presentation is for you. Who cannot hear me? You want me to go louder? Thank you. So there was this sir who introduced me and said, मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता, बहुत होता है. Trust me, ठंड भी लगती है, गर्मी भी लगती है, और दर्द तो माँ कसम बहुत होता है? पर हम लोगों को सिखाया गया है कि दर्द नहीं होता है. तो ये जो हम लोग सीखे हैं कि दर्द नहीं होता है, गर्मी नहीं लगती है, सारी ठंडी सारी गर्मी लड़कियों को ही लगती है, पूरा शर्म का जो पिटारा है वो लड़कियों के लिए ही खुलता है. मर्द को ये सब कुछ नहीं होता, नहीं हो सकता. ये तो हमने सीखा है ना? कैसे सिखाया? So the slide that I begin with, my title slide reads, Let's Talk Gender. Now, if you see down, I have written, the assault on gender is assault on democracy. Judith Butler states that any form of assault on gender is assault on democracy as well. Now, what is gender? Any talk on gender must undergo the drill of defining what is gender, because it is very confusing, let me tell you. Now, interestingly, the term gender comes from a Latin word meaning genus. And genus comes from Proto-Indo-European languages and has its cognates in the French language, which come from the word genre, or genre, meaning kind, sort, or type. So as you see, nowhere does the word gender has got anything to do with superiority or inferiority. It was only in the 1950s and 1960s, as late as 1950s and 1960s, that the term gender moved away from its grammatical usages and came to be associated with cultural constructs, only in the 1950s and 1960s. Now, no conversation on gender can begin without differentiating gender from sex. Now, what is sex? Sex is the category that you are born with, which is very important in medical and legal cases. It is the birth certificate that declares you to be a male or a female, or a much less talked category of the others. Then what is gender? Gender is not just a category. It is a mixed bag of cultural norms, historical formulations, family influences, psychic realities, desires and wishes, all that are taught to us, all that we can have a say on, or all that we cannot have a say on. Now, where did this entire gender story begin from? As humanity knows it today, the time of hunters and gatherers did not have superiority or inferiority categories. It was just types of humans collecting food for their survival. Now, gradually, as man got used to settled cultivation, when you were staying at a particular place and cultivating, certain new processes began. When you are not just collecting and gathering, you are staying somewhere and you are cultivating land. Other processes like family, like ownership of property. And with family and ownership of property began the positioning of individuals into various roles and groups. Nextly, as Henry Maine states, that when settled cultivation began, there also began the cultivation with plough cultivation. And it was believed that women, because of their physical inabilities, cannot carry a plough. So according to Maine, the beginning of domination of women by men began with plough cultivation. Now, if you look at this slide really closely, you will see that there is a word called from culture to till. Culture comes from a word that is koler, and koler means to till. In Bengali, it means korshon kora. So, we believe that with cultivation of land through plough began culture, and with culture began the domination of women by men. So, it is related. Next slide. Now we will quickly go through the differences. What is sex? Sex is the biological category that you're born with your body, that you cannot change without medical interventions. It is universal. The bifurcation is the same world over, the bifurcation of the male, the female, and the others into species. Then what is gender? Gender is a social and cultural construct. You're not born with your gender. I repeat, you are not born with your gender. You're born with your body, that is your sex. You're a male, you're a female. That thing that you write when you're filling up the form of any university or any institute, you have to write your name and then your category, sex. That is your body, the body that you're born with. Whether you conform to the expectations your society has on that body or not is a different story. That is your gender. You're not born with that. Gender can be changed? Yes, of course it can be changed. It varies with culture, communities, norms, modalities, and it does not lead you to become male or female. It leads you to become man or woman. Next slide. Thank you. Now the binaries that we are talking about, binaries, division into two. The binaries that we are talking about, the men and the binaries that we're talking about, that is the men and the women, they come with culture. The initial binaries that man created were the binaries of nature versus culture, the raw versus the cooked, the good versus the evil, the God versus the devil, and the most subtle yet very accepted binary of man versus woman. This, my friend, is a construction. Now, as wide as man versus woman, there are other binaries. That is a manly man versus an effeminate man, a womanly woman versus a tomboy, a motherly woman versus a bad woman, a woman who does not want to become a mother, who does not want to be saintly is a bad woman, a woman who's careeristic is a bad woman, a man who's not very manly is not a man at all. Also, remember that every time you hear something about gender sensitization, as this program is, or you hear something about a gender talk. Yes, it's echoing. Am I So every time you hear something about gender sensitization or a gender talk or something, we feel that it is only about girls. Meeder kotha. Gender is equal to women. Gender is not equal to women. Are we raising our boys correctly? No, we are not. We are not. We are teaching them, sir said, मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता. क्यों नहीं होता? भगवान हो? नहीं होना तो. So this entire binary that man has created actually began with the initial stages when we were creating culture. When we were inculcating the norms of culture into the minds of every other human beings. So we created nature, everything that is wild, that is given, and then we created culture. Everything that we imposed, we made, the rules we chose should be there. Everything that is good versus everything that is bad. Who makes this? Your society, your culture, your community makes this. So these are socio-cultural constructs. Now nextly, gendering an individual to become a man or a woman, that was the first point of my slide, is actually creating a closet, creating a wardrobe, creating an almirah where you have to fit in. You are always trying to fit into what all a man can do, has to do, should do, and what all a woman has to do, can do, or should do. An individual thus born is gendered to become a man or a woman. And this becoming, according to Simone de Beauvoir, actually undergoes a process of learning called socialization. Socialization is something that teaches you what all you can do or what all you cannot do. Remember when we were kids, the boys were given cars and automobiles as toys, and the girls were given dolls. Now somebody like me who carries a very unisex name, see, my name is Shumantro in Bengali, Sumantra in Hindi, and there is no English pronunciation as such of this name. So I'm often confused to be a man. I often receive mails which say respected sir. Right? Why? Why? Isn't it enough that I'm a Dr. S. Chakraborty? No, it's not. There is a prefix or a Mr., a Mrs., MS. Right? So why? Because we have learned that there are categories. If I get to hear that a girl is having a birthday party, I will not gift a car toy. No, I will gift a pink colored Barbie doll. है ना? You never give dolls to young boys. This, my friend, is socialization. Like when you're taught that you cannot eat sand, you cannot eat stones, because the human body cannot digest sand particles and stone chips, right? You're also taught how you should sit, how you should not sit, when you should cry, when you should not cry, when you should stand up for yourself and when you should not stand up for yourself and compromise and adjust and all that. This is socialization. This is the first pointer in this particular slide that says gendering into becoming a man or a woman. As an infant, you take birth as a male body with male body parts, a female body. with female body parts. You don't come to this earth knowing what all you're expected to do. And I'll tell you a very small story. If Shuparna permits. Time permits? Good. A very, very snippet of a story. So, I have this relative who works in Lal Bajar, Kolkata, police. So this relative of mine is a very high posted police officer, who comes back every day and knits knitting sweater, knits every day to get the entire brain fog out. Now you have to tell me the gender of this police officer. Very well posted, criminal Lal Bajar police officer. But comes back and knits every day. Knitting sweater. It's very therapeutic, they say. Like people tell us that cooking is very therapeutic. He's a man. He's a very manly man. But comes back home to knit, every day knits sweaters. But if I tell you that there is a man who's knitting sweater, you might just very well assume that he is effeminate, womanly man. It's not. What is this? This is learning pattern, socialization pattern that teaches us that you can do certain things and you just cannot do certain things because you have the body that you have. This is what socialization is. This is what becoming a man or a woman is. Now the next pointer that you see on your screens are what are roles. So roles are social constructs that dictate, as I said, what one is supposed to or expected to do. The next pointer that you see is that as they are social constructs, so there is no uniform division as to what one is supposed to do, how one is supposed to dress, talk or not, move out or not. And with these role structures come gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes, assumptions about a person because they are male or female, like we believe that women are very bad drivers. We just somehow know women are extremely bad drivers, clumsy drivers. Did you see somebody? Yes, I did. Might be an exception. No, I know that women are clumsy drivers. I know that women only choose arts as a subject. Physics, chemistry is for men. And the boys who choose arts are losers. Are absolutely losers. Unka to kuch nahi hua, so they chose arts. They just chose it, had nothing. These are gender stereotypes, assumptions that we have been having, holding on to, and don't want to let go. Now, in this entire story of becoming men and women, we seldom talk about the non-binaries or non-becomings of our culture, the LGBTQIA+. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, asexual, and plus stands, it's a very recent addition, plus stands for everybody else, pansexual, non-binary, two-spirited individuals, everybody else. Now, why am I talking about LGBTQIA in a gender sensitization program? Because you have to remember, as many people, so many gender. Before my session, there was a session on anti-ragging. See, ragging really has got to do with who amongst us is not like us. So a boy who is very fair, if say everybody else is a bit brownish, may just get ragged. A boy who's darker, may just get ragged. A man who's not manly gets ragged. A woman who's not very womanly might just get ragged. But you need to understand, as many people, so many genders. And let me tell you the story of LGBTQIA+. We began with LG, lesbian and gays. And Hitler started executing them with the Jews. So when the Nazis were actually killing the Jews, they started killing the lesbians and gays as well, because they thought that homosexuality is a disease, it's a disorder, and that it needs to be treated with termination of these people from earth. Then we incorporated the T, the transgender, and slowly the categories are increasing. You need to understand that we are humans first, and then we have a gender, and then we have a body. So the first pointer is gender and division of labor or role structures are social construct. Then shame is also not natural but a construct. Like when you teach young girls to sit properly. Young girls, we were taught to sit properly, right? Cross our legs and sit properly like a lady. Shame. Shaming us for the bodies that we have. It is not natural. It is a social construct. So, there is no shame in being the other. What is the other? Not typically masculine or feminine, but somebody who is just the other. Now, masculinity or femininity or otherization are cages, as I said, and these cages of societies are expectations. One more differences that need to be addressed with this caging is, I'll just touch upon it, it is sexuality. You need to remember that comes from within. Gender roles come from without. Gender roles are impositions that are made on us. Next slide. So, all morning I've been talking about gender and sex and gender. Where did this come from? Why we are doing what we are doing, and we're doing this for ages now. We're talking about Henry Main plow cultivation began some ages ago. This is 2025. Why am I still doing what we are doing? It is because patriarchy, and patriarchy is not just about men. I repeat, patriarchy is not just about men. Every man is a patriarchal man. No. It doesn't work like that. Patriarchy is about power. Anybody who wants to hold power. It is not just man versus woman. It is powerful versus powerless. And the success of patriarchy depends upon fear of violence. If I don't follow the rules, if I don't follow the norms, I might just be violated. What violence are we talking about? Physical? Always? No. Symbolic violence, like calling names. You are a tomboy. You are a womanly man. Symbolic violence. Psychic violence, Sir was talking about in the ragging session. Mentally harassing you. Right? Social violence. Your parents telling you what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Emotional violence. You need mental rest. Abstract forms of violence. And then there are physical violence. Abstract forms of violence, like nobody really taught us that pink is the color of women and blue is the color of men. Nobody taught us. It's abstract, but we do that all the time. Now, any act that is limiting a person, is how patriarchy works, is how it creates the gender rules. Gender discrimination is how glass ceilings are created in organizations, is how pay parity needs to come through. Next slide. This is the last slide of my presentation for today. And since we were talking about violence, so I thought it is very important to tell you how do you combat violence. Now the first pointer that you see is violence at home. There are two spaces where an individual moves through. One is my home and the other is my institutions where I study and work and move out. Now at home, how do I know who is going to violate or who will just impose their power on me, because everybody is a relation. Remember, we are human beings, right? We are not surrounded by tigers that I can see a tiger coming and I'll be careful. Oh my God, that's it. No, I don't know. Everybody is a relation. Somebody is my uncle, somebody is my mom, somebody is my father, and something that we just don't think about. Is my brother safe? I'll tell you how. We are always talking about women's safety. Did we ever check into young men who are taught not to tell about whatever torture they underwent? See, bullying happens with men as well, right? But men are taught not to tell about it. You're such a loser, yeah, you're talking about it, don't talk about it. Have you really inquired? That is my brother back home, is my brother back in the school, is my brother in the institution safe? We don't. Why? Because everybody is a relation and we work through processes and networks of trust. So we really don't know who is harmful and who is not. So when you're combating violence, this is what you have to check into, because you don't know whom to trust. You don't know who is bad for you. The next space that we are moving through is these spaces of work, study, public sphere. Again, the same thing. Everyone's a human. The shopkeeper I'm talking to, the cab driver who dropped me here, everybody is a human. Am I safe? Am I safe? Because as a woman, I'm taught not to venture around at night. I'm taught to dress well. As a man, I'm taught to be very rough and tough. Am I safe if I do not conform to these rules? What should I do if I'm not? Now this last pointer, I guess, is very important for everybody who's studying in JIS and anywhere else in any educational institution, is that nowadays you have CCTVs everywhere. And please understand, there is something called POSH 2023 which got amended. Any kind of harassment is not gender or sexual harassment. So you have to understand what is a gender or sexual harassment first. Differentiate it. Take some time, differentiate it. Next, if you feel that it is a gender or sexual harassment, it might not be limited to the premises only. There is an amendment in the POSH Act 2023. Now, after COVID, we have learned that my work premise, my workplace extends to my home as well, because I'm always online. I'm getting calls, I'm getting video calls, I'm doing meetings, right? So there is an extension of workplace. Okay? Next, there is CAS. What is CAS? Crimes against sexuality, crimes against sexual harassment. And there is a helpline number 1091. First, identify whether the harassment is harassment to you as an individual, to the gender identity that you follow, or to your body. Once you identify, talk about it. Even being a man, masculinity is a construct, it does not really exist. Okay? Humanity does. So don't be a macho man, talk about it. Don't be a shy woman, talk about it. Let people know if you're undergoing something. Understand, gender is something that we've made for ourselves. Gender sensitization is something that all of us need to know about the troubles somebody sitting next to me might just be going through. That is it. Thank you. Next slide. Yeah, sure.
Any questions, ma'am?
I have one question.
Yes.
I'm really wanting sexual harassment.
Sir, you want to come to the dais?
I am somewhat attached to a counseling center that I have experience in it. We have a wrong concept about sexual harassment, you know. Always it means that the males are, or the female candidate are being harassed by the male. But in some cases I have seen, mostly, most few cases I have seen, actually the male candidate, boys, are being harassed by the girls also. Girls or the female candidate also. That is why this sexual harassment, it doesn't mean always that the female candidate is being harassed by the only male candidate. So I'm telling you one case, you know, a 12-year boy, he is being harassed by a lady, you know, harassment, sexually harassed. And now he is somewhat in trauma, psychological trauma condition. He is in counseling center. Now he is going to be in normal condition, you know. So this is my point. One cases, if you somewhat you highlight regarding the definition of sexual harassment in relation to the gender aspect.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This happens all the time. There is no set rule that a woman is being harassed every other time. Come on. No. It depends on how much power you hold. It depends on how you carry yourself. Yes, the cases of sexual harassment against women are much higher than whatever is happening in reality, because a lot of women don't really talk about it, don't get it registered. But it is also true that there are cases of sexual harassment against grown-up men, and they also don't talk about it. It is not registered all the time. There is no set bar, no uniform rule that only a woman gets harassed. Even men get harassed. It is human beings. I said you don't know whether the person can harass you or not. It's not a tiger that you're sitting with, right? You cannot identify dur se kya re wo to dinosaur hai. You don't know. There'll be relations, there'll be colleagues, there'll be friends. A woman can take an advantage of a man can also take an undue, unnecessary, unwanted advantage of a woman. That is just how it works. Anybody else?
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful session. You know, a session has been brilliant when you go into personal recollection, substantiating it with instances from your daily life. I'd rather want to give a very common example. I keep on referring to movies and films and TV series because I can connect to this generation through that particular media. How many of you watched Game of Thrones? Right. Okay. How many of you remember Daenerys Targaryen? The reason why I'm giving this example is that the only way the world can deal with an ambitious woman is to posit her a lunatic. You remember, like at the end of the series, she lost her composure and she is getting killed by Jon Snow, right? Last, oh, you did not get to the last. So, ma'am was referring to that, like it is not just about man, woman, it is about non-binary identities. What ma'am kept very simple, I would keep one simple term for it. There is a term called, ma'am was referring to Judith Butler, the term is performative identity. We all subscribe to that performative identity. Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful session. And ma'am was also referring to like patriarchy. the first act of patriarchy we perpetrate intentionally, unintentionally, is right from the school classrooms, when we ask our boys and the girls to sit differently.
Much before that.
Much
When you
before,
name.
yes, much before that as well. So the first form of bully, as I've always realized and kind of understood, is through the form of a insensible teacher. So as human beings, we have all got things to learn, to be sensitive to be sensible about. So once again, I would like to convey my deepest gratitude and thanks to ma'am for conducting such a brilliant session. And we hope that ma'am will return to us at other events as well. Thank you very much, ma'am. So, yeah. So ma'am was referring to sexual harassment, crimes against sexuality. Incidentally, the next session that we have is by Momala Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor at the Department. Assistant Professor at the Department of Juridical Sciences, JIS University. But before that, I would like to request ma'am once again, we have a small token of gratitude for you, ma'am. We have a memento from JIS University. You can take your time, ma'am. And once again, I'd like to request Suparna ma'am for this. Ma'am, you can kindly deliver the token of gratitude. We can take photographs. If you can kindly assist her in taking the photograph. Yes. A big round of applause for such a brilliant session. In retrospection, gender needs no summing up, gender needs opening up. So thank you once again, ma'am. So I was speaking about the next session, which is about anti-sexual harassment policy in the university and beyond the scope of the university. And for that session, we have Mrs. Momala Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor at the Department of Juridical Sciences, JIS University. May now request ma'am to take the session on anti-sexual harassment policy.
Thank you, sir. Very warm welcome to all of you in this university. Today I'm going to discuss about the anti-sexual harassment policy of JIS University. Just before the ma'am said about the difference between sex, gender, sexuality, caste. Now, in very short, I will wrap up the anti-sexual harassment policy of our university. Next slide. Now, there is an act which is known as a POSH Act. I think you might have heard that term, which is in short known as Prevention of Sexual Harassment. There was an incident happened in 1997 where a woman named Babri Devi in Rajasthan gang raped in her workplace. After that, in 2006, Supreme Court published a guideline which is known as Vishakha Guideline, where they have said that every woman, they should be protected in their workplace. But in countries like us, if we don't penalize a person just for the guideline, they will not listen to anyone. So in 2013, we get our POSH Act, which is known as the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act. Now, what this act is about, any woman who is an employee in any institution, either it can be organized or unorganized. The woman can be full-time, part-time, contractual, intern, in any form is protected by this act. Now, the boys might think about that this is all for the woman. But what about us? Next slide. So, thinking about the boys, the EAGC referred some guideline. Before that, I need to discuss about the definition of sexual harassment is. As the ma'am said, that It can be in any form. It can be in physical, psychological, verbal, non-verbal, committed, attempt to commit. Now, these are the specific definition which is mentioned by the Act. The number one is any unwelcome sexually determined behavior, whether directly or by implication. Next is physical contact and advances, either attempted or either committed or attempt to commit. Third one is a demand or request for sexual favors. There is a term which is known as quid pro quo. What quid pro quo means? In return of something. That if you don't spend a night with me, your job will be at stake. So with the fear that woman provided the consent, but that is not the free consent. You should differentiate about the consent and the free consent. Any consent taken from you under a fear or under some undue influence is not considered as a free consent. So that is also protected and comes under this Act. Next is making sexually colored remarks, showing pornography or attempt to show you pornography or some obscene pictures, photos, and any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature is protected under this Act. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Now this 2013 POSH Act specifically protected the woman. Now the UGC, University Grant Commission, they have decided that no, it is not only the woman who is facing the thing, it is also the man who is suffering the thing as well. So under the UGC guideline, they have made a rule under this Act, and where they have said it is the boy and the girl, both the students are protected under this Act. So any kind of sexual harassment happen to you, either it is verbal, non-verbal, or any kind of a form of physical, non-physical, by gesture, word of mouth, anything else, you are protected by this Act. So UGC also instructed the each and every institution to make a committee. So see, if anything happened to you, where should you go? You are the students. You were just admitted in the institution. So there should be a committee who will take care of your complaint. Not only that, it is the institution who will sensitize you. As just ma'am sensitize you regarding the sex, gender, sexuality. So time to time, we will do the training and awareness program. How to avoid this? How should you identify? Suppose a fellow classmate of yours says something to you. You are not sure about it, but whether it is a sexually colored remarks, or it's just a joke, or it's something else. So you should identify these things. Or if this is not possible for you to identify, then there is a committee who will help you for this. Next. Now, as I said, now this rule provided by the UGC is a gender neutral. Both man, woman, both the boys and the girls are protected under this rule. Next. Now, I will tell you the step-by-step POSH guideline to you. Now, if any sexual harassment happened to you, what you will do? You will first file a complaint before the ICC. What ICC is? Internal Complaint Committee. It is the POSH Act. It has said that each and every institution there should be an ICC, Internal Complaint Committee. Now, who can file the complaint? So first it's you. The victim can always file the complaint. But if the victim is not in her own state, suppose the victim is physically injured or mentally under any kind of a trauma, so on behalf of the victim, any friends, relatives or fellow classmates, teachers, anyone can represent the woman and file the complaint before the committee. Now there is a timeline to file this complaint. When these things happen to you, the incident happened to you, from the incident within 3 months, you need to file the complaint before the committee. After that, the committee will not entertain your complaint. After receiving the complaint, the committee will send a notice to the accused person within 7 days. After getting the notice, the respondent, the accused, sent a report to the committee within 10 days. After receiving the report from that accused person, the committee first do a conciliation procedure. What conciliation procedure is? They first try to settle the matter between the two parties. They will call both the parties, whether there is any kind of misunderstanding, misconception happened between them. So if both the parties are agreed for the reconciliation, so they will come, they will sit. If they are happy with this settlement, so there is a suggestion made by the committee and they are free from this incident. But if the parties are not ready for the conciliation, or whatever comes out from that conciliation, from that result the party is not happy enough, then the party can ask the committee for further inquiry. So then the committee will start the inquiry, and this inquiry should be completed within 90 days. After that, the committee will send a report to the higher authority. If from that report, the aggrieved or the victim is not satisfied, they can do the appeal within 90 days. Now, in between few reliefs, the committee will provide you. Few interim reliefs while the inquiry is going on. Suppose the accused or the victim is in the same place, in the same department, in the same class. There might be a chance that the victim can be threatened by the accused person. For that reason, the committee can release one of them, can ask them to grant a leave for a certain period of time until and unless the inquiry has completed, or the committee can change the section, committee can transfer the person from one department to another department, one section to another section, one place to another place, so that no such coercion, pressure, threat coming from the accused person to the victim person. Next. I have just discussed the procedure with you. Next slide. The interim redressal also I have discussed with you. Next. Monetary compensation. So, if this has been proved that yes, there is an actual sexual harassment happened to that particular victim, the particular victim can get monetary relief. On basis of what they will get the monetary relief? A mental trauma, pain, suffering, distress caused to the aggrieved person. Loss of career opportunity. Suppose you got a chance to move abroad or foreign to get a degree, but with such incident, you were not able to do that and you missed the chance. So you will get monetary compensation. Loss of medical expenses incurred by the victim. If any physical injury done on part of the accused, the victim can ask for the medical expenses as well. If any kind of income and status of the alleged preparator and the victim, feasibility of such payment in lump sum or in installment. So, committee will provide you, either it will be in a lump sum amount or in an installment amount. So, there should be some monetary relief on part of the accused to the victim. Next slide. Now, where you are protected. In just previous talk, the ma'am said that there is an extended protection available to you. You are protected inside the campus, right? So, in your classroom, in your laboratory, in your library, in your each and every corner of this institution, this premises, you are protected. Apart from this, outside of this premises, in that playground, in that poolside area, even in the canteen, in the hostel areas, everything which is related to this university university, you are protected under this act. Suppose your department conducted an excursion now outside of state where you have visited with this department. In that excursion, you are sexually assaulted by someone. So one cannot say that you are outside the premises, you are not protected. No, it is the duty of the university because it is an extension program of the university. So wherever you are, if you are related with the university or university related work, you are protected under this act. Next slide. Now, listen to this very carefully. If any man or woman or boy or girl place or file any false complaint, we have experienced this many times. When the two persons are in a relationship, everything is going very fine. When they broke up, suddenly the woman raised a complaint and filed a case that I am sexually harassed by that boy. If it is found by the inquiry of the internal complaint committee that there is a false complaint which is lodged by one of the party, then that person will be getting punished under this act, and this punishment is very serious. They can be suspended, they can be completely restricted to enter into the premises. And you know also, each and every end of the season, we need to send an annual report to the UGC. If anything happened to you, if it is proved that the person has done the crime, or if there is a false complaint, both the reports will be sent to the UGC, and in near future, you will not be able to get admitted in any kind of college, institutions, university which is affiliated to UGC. So take this thing very seriously. When you act anything which comes under the purview of the definition of the sexual harassment, or even you falsely lodged a complaint, think about the future consequences. Next slide. So it is the duty of the organization which will provide you the internal complaint committee and all the help from the committee, and we will do time to time training and awareness program to you. Next slide. Next slide. So this is a committee formation, the Committee Against Sexual Harassment in our university. Next. Then we have an internal complaint committee. Next. This is the internal complaint committee compositions. Next. This is the women's cell of our university. Next. This is the gender sensitization committee of our university. Next. Next. So the time frame which I have said that you need to file a complaint within the 3 months. After that, committee will send a summon to that person within 7 days. Within 10 days, the person need to send us the report, and within 90 days, the committee need to complete the inquiry. Next. So these are the responsibility of the internal complaint committee. Internal complaint committee will help you to lodge to file a complaint. Internal complaint committee never disclose the name of the victim. It will be preserved by the committee, and they will do the just and fair conciliation, provide adequate proof, safety to the complainant, prevent victimization and prevention of victim. Next. Next. So I'm not taking much of your time. If you have anything to say or ask, please raise your hands. Regarding anti-sexual harassment policy, or where should you go, to whom you should contact, any query? Nothing. So fine. So you can have gradually everything. I will send the contact number, details and the QR code. If you can scan the QR code, you are getting our anti-sexual harassment policy and the person's contact number. If in near future, for God forbids, if anything happened to you, you can directly contact us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Next slide. Next slide. So here are a few contacts number are there. I think it is not visible that enough, but no problem in that. I will share that on Telegram group. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Can we have a big round of applause? It was a rather wonderful session where a lot of information we had gathered in terms of how can we protect ourselves and to be aware enough where things are going wrong. Okay? So moving ahead, we have a very important session on research policy and research-oriented academics in the university. To enlighten us on this significant aspect of academic growth, I take the privilege of inviting Dr. Shomi Dey, Dean of Research and Development, to conduct this session. Sir, you are requested to come to the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to our university. Now, the topic is all about the research policy of our university. Basically, we are having a very student-friendly research policy. We can categorize part by part. If I can start from the BTech or BCA or any graduation, BSc, correct? We wish to encourage our students to write some papers to publish in conference as well as some journals. Next question is why? Because every year we are having some program like JIS Innovation Award or JIS Sanman. So every time we used to encourage our students to publish some papers during conference and journals. And there are two types of recognition we are having. One is monetary recognition as well as certification also. Suppose if you have a five total number of publications in conference as well as journals. Suppose you are a topper in department wise, you will be appreciated by the department. And as a whole, if you are a topper in a university, then there is another opportunity to recognize you, that is called JIS Sanman. So this JIS Sanman is all about our full group, not only your university. Correct. So we are having more than 20 institutions. So out of that, you suppose you are a topper, then you will be felicitated with a big memento and all. So this is our first. Second part is, suppose you are thinking as a BTech student, is it possible to write a research paper? It is not possible in general, but I can tell you I can give you the lots of examples where you can see, and I can tell you within a 6 months, that is 1 semester, you can understand what is going on in your department. So your department, all departments are generally used to organize different types of workshops and seminars, and we used to motivate our students to do some work so that we can publish as a book chapter or maybe in journal paper, correct? So everything you can manage through your departmental HOD as well as concerned subject teacher. So this is the one part of us, number one. Number two, another part is there. Suppose those who belongs to master degree, correct? Master degree. Suppose MTech, MPharm, MSc. So now we are having another policy. Suppose you are having some projects. It is also applicable for BTech, BCA, in other department also, BSc, correct? Suppose at the end semester or final year you are having some projects. We used to evaluate this project through some different types. Different type means, suppose we used to encourage our student, so please publish your work if you have a good work in terms of patent or in terms of copyright or in terms of publication in journals. Are you getting my point? Suppose your project is very good. There are three possibilities. You can publish this work as a patent wise or copyright wise or as a paper wise. in a conference as well as, so that this can be, you can continue your work as a recorded part. So if you have a publication, you can say, okay, this project was published by this area, maybe conference, maybe journal. This is one kind of documentation. We used to advise our student, whatever the project you are doing, try to document it. Clear? Now coming to this portion is clear to everyone. Number one, all undergraduate and postgraduate, you are having some projects. At the last year, we used to connect these projects in terms of patents, in terms of copyright, in terms of public. So we used to encourage this. It's totally up to you, and your guide will encourage this. Okay, so this is all about. Next part is, second part is there, PhD. In our university, we are having some policy, institutional fellowship. Anyone without any gate, without any net, if anyone wants to apply in our university for PhD work, so we have some expertise group, so they will analyze your CV as well as the performance of your rate for our university PhD examination, entrance examination, correct? So if they are satisfied as per your performance, automatically they will recommended you to be a institutional fellowship holder. According to that, we will process it. Okay. Another policy is there, our PhD policy. So in our, right now we are having 3 different campuses. One is this Agarpara, second one is our research oriented institution, JIS ISR at Santragachi. Another campus we have Austin, where we can see BBA and MBA, correct? So we are having great active research team in our university, and if anyone wants to do something in different way in patents, and you can come forward through your coordinator may be HOD. So another interesting point I can share with you, suppose you want to patent your work, no need to pay a single rupees from you. University will cover everything. That is our main policy. Always we generally used to encourage our student, do your best, and you get your recognition through our university. So this is the main part. Anyone, any questions regarding this? Anyone? So this is all about this, our research policy. Anyone? So lastly, I should encourage you should recognize yourself through some great work, and this can be possible if you do some patent, if you do some copyright, if you do some publication. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, now we have an important session of digital pedagogy in teaching learning process. So this session will focus on modern approaches that make education more engaging, effective and meaningful. So I'm delighted to invite Ms. Orchita Pal, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, to deliver her talk. Ma'am, you're requested to come.
Good afternoon all.
So, how many of you right now present both physically and mentally here? Please raise your hand, because there is long session going on. মানসিক ভাবে 5 জন, এটা ডিমোটিভেটেড করে দিবে আমাকে। Okay, my today's session is about importance of digital pedagogy in teaching learning process. Am I audible to all of you? How many of B.Ed students right now in this auditorium?
Very good. Okay. So, obviously, digital pedagogy is not related with other streams, but it's very important to every single person. And it's a very unknown term, that's pedagogy. So first let me explain what pedagogy is. And it will be really helpful for you to understand this term. And it will helpful for your further studies also. So, pedagogy, what does it mean? It actually, the term pedagogy means art of teaching. Art of teaching. Now I am going to give you an example and you have to recognize the term pedagogy from that particular sentence, okay? So, all of you please listen carefully. The sentence is, the priest does puja in temple. The priest does puja in temple. So, art of teaching, that's pedagogy. You have to recognize that art of teaching or delivering content from that particular sentence. Priest does puja in temple. Priest, I will help you. Anybody? Priest does puja in temple, and you have to recognize the word pedagogy from that particular sentence. Priest means teacher or who is going to deliver the content. Okay? Who is going to deliver the content? Maybe you are explaining somebody or influencing somebody something. Okay. So, you are the priest. Okay. To whom you are delivering the content, be it students, teacher কাকে content delivery করে? Student কে, here God, here in the sentence, God is that student. So we must treat our student like God, isn't it? So priest is teacher and God is student. And where we do this puja? In temple. So, for you, JIS University is that particular temple. All of you agree with me? এটা কিন্তু তোমাদের জন্য মন্দির, বুঝলে? আর তোমরা হচ্ছে সেই মন্দিরের ভগবান। আগামী কয়েক বছর আমরা তোমাদেরকে পুজো করব। And what we are delivering? Priest কি করে? পূজা। So we deliver content. Puja is equal to content. Okay? So puja to অনেক ভাবে হয়। মন থেকে করতে পারি, জোরে জোরে মন্ত্র বলে করতে পারি, শুধু ধূপ ধুনো রেখেও করতে পারি, isn't it? There are so many rituals of puja, isn't it? Or praying God, there are so many process. Or those who are agree, please raise your hand. পূজার অনেক রকম রিচুয়ালস হয় তো, সবাই এগ্রি করো তো? কারা কারা পরীক্ষার আগে মন দিয়ে ভগবানকে ডাকো? শুধু পরীক্ষার আগে কারা কারা ভগবানকে ডাকো? কেউ ডাকে না? 4-5 জন আছে। ভেরি গুড। সো the way we pray to God is pedagogy. That means how we are delivering the content to the student. That is pedagogy, art of teaching. এই art of teaching টা যদি আমরা আয়ত্ত করতে পারি না, তাহলে আমরা অনেক কিছু করতে পারি, অনেক কিছু করে দিতে পারি, ইনফ্লুয়েন্স করে দিতে পারি যা খুশি সবাইকে। Art of teaching or art of delivering content is very important to influence somebody on it. So here today my session is related with
importance of digital pedagogy in teaching learning process. That means we need to understand now the word digital. So, using digital tool while delivering content is called digital pedagogy. That means digital কিছু help নিয়ে আমরা যদি আমাদের কন্টেন্টটাকে ডেলিভার করি, that is digital pedagogy. Now I have to discuss the importance, but we all know the use of digital tools. So let me be very short. It is very important when not to use digital pedagogy. We all know we are living in a 21st century, and we all know the use of digital tools. But it is very important to understand when not to use digital tools. That is the importance of digital pedagogy. তোমাদের টিচার হিসেবে বা মানুষ হিসেবে বুঝতে হবে কখন তুমি ডিজিটাল টুল ব্যবহার করবে না, কখন তুমি ব্যবহার করবে। Today my topic is use of digital tool or use of digital pedagogy in learning, but I am not using the PPT. Why? Because I don't want you to be distracted. আমি চাই না তোমরা distracted হও PPT দ্বারা। আমি চাই তোমরা আমার কথাটা মন দিয়ে শোনো। That's why it's very important. Digital use of digital pedagogy is it is not equal to maximum use of digital tools. It is the wise use of digital tool. Because we must remember that there is always distractions towards our goal. So we must focus on the traditional way, but we can take help of some apps or can take help of some digital tools to enhance our understanding. But every time if we are going to use the digital mode, it will only distract or disturb our mind. So that is the main thing we need to understand today. So that's a summary portion. I hope all of you understand what I'm trying to say. Agree or not? সবাই বুঝেছে কিনা একবার হাত তুলে দাও, তাহলে সেশন করবো, নাহলে একটু বেশি বোঝাবো। হাত তোলো। এই 4-5 দিন বুঝেছে ডিজিটাল পেডাগজির ইম্পর্টেন্স। কারা কারা বুঝেছে হাত তোলো শিগগির। বড় করে হাত তুলতে হবে, নাহলে আরেকবার সেশনটা হবে। খুব বড় করে। আচ্ছা, যারা বুঝতে পারলে না তারা এডুকেশন ডিপার্টমেন্টে চলে আসবে 806 এনি টাইম। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। আই উইল কন্টিনিউ দ্যাট সেশন।
Thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead, now it's the time for a creative and interactive session, ideometer. So this platform will give the students a chance to showcase their skills, creativity, and innovative ideas. For that, I would like to request Ms. Devmitra Ghosh, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to take up the session. Ma'am, you are kindly requested to come.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to JIS University. How have been your experience? Can anyone say? Anyone? If you don't volunteer yourself, I will randomly pick someone. First bench. So what was your expectation from JIS University? You are from which stream? BCA, that means computer science, only you're coming. So when you have taken admission in JIS University, so what was your expectation? Like, why have you taken up this course? You have a dream from starting that you will come in JIS University and you will take admission. That was your very first dream. Okay, I understood. Anyone else? Like, why you want to go for any professional course? Like BCA is a professional course. Then you have BTech, which is also a professional course. So ultimately, why are you doing this course? Why are you pursuing BTech or BCA or BEd or other degrees? So ultimately you want to earn, you want to make your livelihood. Why are you doing this education? Because it will finally support you somehow or the other to make a earning. Taito? তোমাদের এখান থেকে কি হবে? You will make an earning of yourself. You will get a job. So how about if JIS University only give you a platform where you can showcase your talent, and it will also help you to make a living and to make an earning from it. So ideometer, I have a PPT. I'll show you right now. Like, ideometer provides you with a platform where you can actually showcase your talent, any talent. How many of you are good in arts? Like, how many of you are good in music, or they have a dream of making a movie or any kind of creative thing? How many of you? Okay. So what is your wish? Like, what do you want? You like singing. So have you ever thought of making an album, like a visual album where you will be singing and there will be some videos played? You would love to. So see, there are many other students who have same kind of feeling, like they want to do all these things. So ideometer actually provides you a platform where if you want, you can actually showcase your talent like that. Like, they will be giving you funding for making your album. Anyone else? Like, I think you have also raised up your hand. So. Mm-hmm.
I'm very enthusiastic about it. I also like singing songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so ideometer, the main motto is like, your next big idea is just a thought away. You all will have definitely a very big idea. You all have ideas which can actually make a big difference in the society. Have you heard about the name of Shrikant Bolla? So he is a person who is visually impaired, but he had a dream of making an industry. So from there he came up with an idea of recycling all the waste things. And finally he have some crore rupees of their own idea. So an idea we all have, but we don't know like in which platform we will be going to actually showcase that idea. So in JIS group we have a crowdfunding platform which is called Ideometer, where till now you can see like there are more than 800 ideas have been submitted. And out of those ideas, 34 ideas have already got their funding, and they have received their funding of mostly from 2 lakh to 5 lakh rupees have been given to them for funding their own ideas. So next slide. So how it works, basically you have an idea, like she said, like she wants to make, she's very good in music. One day I will be here. You are from which group? MSc. And you? VUC Biotech. So we have so many talented students this time. So I would definitely like to hear from you, like what is your idea, how you want to make yourself, how can you make that video? So if that idea is good, we can submit that idea in Ideometer, and if it is selected by the mentors, then you will get a funding. You should have a proper budget, all the things should be, and most important thing, you should have a zeal among yourself, like okay, we have to do something, we have to make up the ideas. So, so that idea, that spark that we say is the idea that you all should have within yourself. Next comes submit. You have to draft your idea and then you have to submit in the platform. I will be showing you all the details now to all of you. And then finally, there will be a selection process where you have to showcase your idea. There are other events also across the year. We have so many events from Ideometer, because after you complete your induction process, you will be going to your department, and from there also we will be taking up students who are interested to participate in Ideometer, and then we will be having a session with them where we will be mainly teaching them how to make their ideas more marketable, more commercialized, so we can get more funding from them. And then the support will be given from JIS group. Not only that, we will be also helping you with some mentors who will be guiding you for getting the project and also for getting the funding. So all these things will be done according to the process. So here are some of the ideas who have been doing very good in market, and the inventors of these ideas have already established themselves as an entrepreneur. And as you can see, first is eco solutions. Many solutions are given. Like from biotechnology only, last year we have seen some ideas who were making one liquid trees, where they were actually taking carbon dioxide and giving oxygen to the environment. This kind of ideas were getting funding, and they were also selected within top 10 projects from our university. Health Connect, this is also related to something called from BTech department, where we were actually connecting all the patients with the doctors. So this platform was also selected there. Another one is LearnSphere, where it was basically dependent on the learning process, how you can accumulate all the knowledge from all places and you can keep it in a single repository, and that will be utilized by students in future. So what we look forward is basically the innovation, like what are the innovative ideas you have. It can be something which is already existing in market, but you should have an edge on that. Like there are many apps. I will be coming to you. Like, have you heard about Aman Gupta? Anyone? Who is he? Board founder. But before he came up with this idea of headphones, I think it was quite common in market. It was already there. Other companies were making. So what was his idea? He made what he said, like, hum bhi bana lenge. That is a very famous dialogue, like, hum bhi bana lenge. He came up with this word, like, if something is already existing in a market, we can also make. We can also give a better service, we can give it in a cheaper price. So like that, we can get more marketing things. So you should be innovative. Next comes feasible, if the thing is feasible or not. If you have an idea, like she said about a music album, that is feasible. But if now she comes up like, I will be dancing in the moon, then it won't be possible. So we will be coming up with an idea which will be feasible quite. Then the impact. Also, we want to look for some impact in the society, because finally we are all living in the society. We have some commitment towards them. So, amra jokhoni kichu banabo, we should be committed to our society. It should have an effect there. And finally, the scalability. When you're talking about marketing, it should be scalable. It should be reproducible. We can have a huge market from there. Next slide. So, how to submit an idea? We have a portal of Ideometer where you can actually get the form and you can fill all the informations, and then finally the idea will be going to your mentor. You will be assigned with a mentor who will be guiding you, and as well as you will be groomed accordingly, like how to speak in front of your funding people, or the person who will be coming up with funding. So how you will be speaking, how will be delivering your speech, all these things you will be groomed accordingly. And finally, you will be given a platform where you can showcase your ideas. Next. So here are, as I was talking about Aman Gupta, he came to JIS. This year we had an event. It was in Dhanodhanya, where he came and he have guided all of our students how to come up with an idea and how to make it marketable. So there are many ideas which were selected from JIS University also. They have showcased their idea. There was a hackathon which happened across all the group colleges, and from there few projects were selected, and they got a chance to showcase their idea in front of the investors. We get investors from around, from all the parts of India, and they actually come here and they see your ideas, and accordingly they give you guidance, and also they ask you if you want, what do you want from them basically. So this was one of the event, and as you can see at the right hand corner, this students, they are from third year, they have developed a robot, and that robot was, it was actually moving, it can crawl, and it can see all the things which is around, and it can say like if this thing is properly placed or not placed. Sometimes it happens like all these things, or all these valves are not properly kept. So while walking, there's a chance like you will fall down. But this robot was actually helping you out. So all these ideas, you can be marketable. Like, you know, Alexa, when it came, it was just an idea. And then they got funding, and then they made it. Everything, whatever you see around yourself. It first came with an idea, and then it was marketable. So all these people have came to JIS, and they have heard the ideas of students, and they have guided. I would like to know the name of the person who is standing at the left, extreme left. Can anyone say? Who is he? Shh. Yeah. And how he is famous? Where have you seen him? So basically, Made in JIS is like a Shark Tank of JIS. It's like a Shark Tank where you will be coming up with your idea, you will be pitching your idea, and accordingly you will be getting funding. So he came to our group, and he has seen so many ideas, and he have given a wonderful session where he have given various ideas to students and how to start their work and how to actually make up their work successful in future. Next, in the middle, recently we had that on 5th of August, we had this event. So in the middle, who is standing? Can anyone? Yeah. How you know him?
He's activist.
He's an activist, and?
Wonderful man. He's an innovator.
He's an innovator. He has got some wonderful innovations. When he was talking about his innovations, they were excellent innovations. How he have used like the greenhouse effect to make the house of Ladakh warm without spending a single money. His ice stupa idea. What he does, basically Ladakh is a very dry place. So what he did, he made a stupa. So you know, like if the surface area is less, then the melting point will also be less. So he has utilized that idea of class 9 and made a wonderful industry, and now his team is scattering all over world for making this ice stupas. When he came on 5th of August, he said like he has recently completed one assignment in Chile, and then he is coming down to India to give his speech over there. So all the ideas which came into existence were first thought by a very young mind like you all. So think about an idea, and JIS is there to fund you. If you have an idea, then always, if you can dream it, you can make it. And right at the right hand side, you have said his name, Aman Gupta. And at the below, Srikant Polla. So all these people who are wonderful entrepreneurs, they have came to us and they have listened to our ideas, and finally they have made a wonderful change among students. And many of the students of JIS are now doing very good in industry. Not only that, they have their own companies, they have their own startups. So today, what I also wish, like I really want to see some of you who will come up with your idea, and we can work on it. We can mentor you, we can guide you, we can groom you, so that one day you can also make a wonderful company. You can have also an impact in the society. So how many of you will come up with an idea? Raise up your hand. Anyone? Okay, one. And? Anyone else? No one? Just one idea. We get hundreds of ideas each year across JIS. So only one idea won't do. You have to think. Mentors are already available here. If you want any help, you can come to me, you can contact me. we can guide you accordingly. So I think more hands will be there next time. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. There's a small announcement. For that, I'd like to call Shamurendra from CSA department.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Shamurendra. The thing is, JIS University not only fosters academic, it also focuses on extracurricular activities. So tomorrow we have organized, the SIP team has organized a cultural competition which comprises of 3 criteria: singing, dancing and photography. So everybody who are interested in those fields can fill the form. The form is there, it in the Telegram group I have shared already. Devlina ma'am has shared already. You can fill the form. The event is from 2:30 tomorrow. Be prepared and best of luck, everybody. Thank you.
Moving ahead, we have our next session on universal human values. So which is again an essential part of holistic education and personality development. So these are the values that will really guide human to conduct a meaningful life and basically to become a responsible citizen. Okay. So for that, I like to call Professor Swadesh Ranjan Shamanto, who is an adjunct professor from Department of Education. Sir, I would like to call you upon the dais.
Good morning to all. I am in front of the new generation, you know. We will be staying here at least 3 years or 4 years, you know, or 2 years for B.Ed and other 4-year courses, you know. So induction program actually what exists in our university and what we will have to undergo through the process that should be introduced to you. That is the actually main key point of this induction program, you know. You know, those who are admitted here in different subjects, you know, you will, your departmental faculties and all, I think you already been introduced with them, or you will be introduced with them also. So there is those subjects. Suppose you have taken admission in with biotechnology or the computer science. So you will have to study on that, on those, the things that is needed for this particular subject. Suppose you will be an engineer, suppose you will be a biotechnologist, or you are a law, judicial science, you are a lawyer, okay. Whatever you may, you will be in future, but you must have some characteristics and something must have to maintain some ethics. So UGC, that is why UGC has adopted a ethical and values courses. That's what we have. Even the doctors and engineers, they're not first one, whether they are happy, whether they are doing their work or job with satisfaction, whether they are doing those with the full satisfaction and doing better for the society, or or particular self-interest, you know. So that is the main question. That is why we see so many crimes, so many unethical wars is being done, where among the new generation, among the professionalists who are engineer or the even the psychologist or the doctors and etc. You know, and they are not happy, and they are not able to make the society happy. Okay, that is why even I have seen every day you will see in the paper, you will see one student has taken suicide due to failure of one examination. That is not wanted. Okay, you will, so many evidence is there. Say those who have failed several times, even you know so many known scientists also. Okay, but if I go through their life history of Einstein and others, so preliminary they were not successful in their all subjects in schooling or the graduation of law, but they have been able to get their goal achievement, the goal of achievement. So what is the reason behind that? It is this: we do not know how to live, how to do my work with satisfaction. What are the reasons behind that? That is the main things the UGC has adopted, universal human values. Okay. Regarding our university, JIS University, I am telling you, today just I am telling in extempore. Tomorrow I will speak on that with the PPT, you know. So that I am telling in JIS University there is a center, you know, that is spiritual center, one kind of ethical center. If you go in a library, it's a one side is library, it is so many books in ethical books are there. Mainly Guru Nanak's philosophy. The philosophy, the books are translated in Bengali and English. You can go there, you can read there. Okay? So before 3 or 4 years, we started this type of study. Every Sunday we are taking classes for the students in online mode. You know, in Corona period, everybody had to attend the classes in online mode. At that time we started these classes in online mode on basis on Sundays and to develop the ethical criteria and value orientation of the lifelong education. So students, we asked some questions and they have replied why their ambitions, what they want to be, why they are taking this subject with good attitude, what are their attitude, etc. You know. And later on, at university, we introduced a class that it is non-CGPA course, that is UHB class. It was done only Wednesday evening in online mode. So had some problem, you know, that is Sunday that the feedback of the students, what they have learned on Wednesday, the feedback was taken on Sunday evening, you know. But it is not such because there is some problem, that's why the students have to attend the class beyond the class period. It is somewhat problem. That is this year, this fashion has been changed and will be changed. So it will be taken in the inside the routine, and it will be a regular class basis, or it will be punched within the existing syllabus of your subjects, you know. There is another thing. But the main thing is that what's the utility, what is the requirement of these courses, of this type of education that we need, you know. So that thing, what we learned or what we discussed previously last year or year before last year, we have already discussed and taken classes on some points, you know. It is a one credit non-CGPA courses, what are the ethics, what are the syllabus in it. That I am telling briefly, you know. First, it was that taken, you know, that is continuous happiness, prosperity, okay. A look at basic human aspiration like understanding, relations and physical facility, the basic requirements for the fulfillment of aspirations of every human being with their correct priority. Can you say, anyone can say, what is happiness? There is a book, you know, written by Barton Russell, Conquest of Happiness. Okay? Happiness, it is a mental entity, you know. So, psychological entity, you know. So if you read this book, The Conquest of Happiness, there are chapters are there, envy, pleasure, love, affection. These are the chapters you know go through. So can we define what is unhappiness or happiness in anyone? And happiness, if you define the happiness, then there are the which type of happiness? Where the happiness in our physically, if we fill up our physical need, then that pleasure will be happiness, or the somewhat beyond that, or it is a psychological term. Anyone can say, if you raise hand and I want to listen, can you say anyone what is happiness? Okay, I am telling you happiness. Happiness actually, we happy rather, we have some aspirations. Suppose you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer. After this achievement, your aspiration has been fulfilled, then you get pleasure and happiness. Happiness you achieved. But real happiness is somewhat, whether that is a term you know, as per Barton Russell you know. You will be happy when all will be happy. So your knowledge, your skill that you learning is nothing but to earn some, to acquire some skills you know. So whenever skills you achieved, then you will be able to do some work and or your profession, and after that when you are doing your profession and you get satisfy yourself, and then you may say that I am happy. But it is not truly happy. Even we see some engineers, doctors, they are always in some, they are doing job, they are not doing their job with happily or happily. Okay? So there is some lacuna in somewhere. Okay? So that is why in as per Barton Russell and others, they are quite some psychological entities there. How can we make the students be happy and happiness can be achieved? You know. One type of happiness is the physical need, what we aspire, if we get that. Another is a mental exercise. Okay. So mental exercise, another point is that if you know the reasons of your achievement, okay. So when you are in the society, you have some social structure, you belong to a family, and family is inside a society, and society inside the country, and country inside the world, you know, all the countries. So you are a part of the society or the part of the universe, you can speak of that. So being a part or individual part of the society or the universe, you must be one part is that you make yourself happy by fulfilling your aspirations and doing the proper study, proper exercise, mental exercise, mental skill application. You learn some knowledge, and after that, getting that knowledge, you are doing some jobs as per your requirement. And on this case, you are happy. If all the individuals of the society be happy in such a way, then society will be happy. But one thing is that the individual happiness doesn't mean that all the society is happy. You have a part, you have a responsibility to do something for the others, for this society, and for the country also. Then the absolute happiness will come. Okay? That is why the main target of our education, of our skill development, of our every endeavor in the society must be society focused towards the society development, you know. That is the first chapter, will be discussing if this class is exist in future, And next thing is understanding happiness, prosperity, correctly critical appraisal of the current scenario method of fulfillment to above human aspiration, understanding living in harmony at various levels. Okay, harmony, this term Harmony, what does it mean? Harmony means you will feel, even I have seen after taking, I am telling the students who are the genius students or the bright students, they are not getting pleasure with talking to others, those who have not educated or even illiterate also. So there is he is being interested on their special individual need. But if you add your need with the need of the others, then the harmony of the society will come. So the main target of your education will be to harmonize the education to the whole society. That is called the harmony. You have the responsibility, and that is also a value of your education, And next class will be taking that is understanding human being as self and I. I mean self and the body. Sukh and samriddhi. I and body. There is the main thing. What is that? There is two words I means self. Self means you. And another thing, body. Can you say what is the difference between I and self, I and body, or self and body? Self is a term and body. Body means it is a physical structure, physical, the physical quantization of your life, and that is body. And self is beyond your body. There is something which is self. Self means it is attached or mainly concentrated to your mind. So your development of your mind is called self-development. Actually, body will be controlled by the self. That is your mind. If your mind will be broad and be actually ethical or the valued body, mind is prepared, then your body will be controlled, will be that. Suppose you are taking food. Which type of food will take, that will be controlled by yourself. That is your mind. Whether the junk food will take or not, your body requires that, okay, food is required for development of your body. But which type of food you will take, that depends on yourself, your mind. That mind will be, actually body is being controlled by the mind. Mind will be controlled by your ethical education or the social structure or the society where you belong or your family or society, So that is the difference between self and the body, Next, and another thing is a sukh and samriddhi. There is a two term. Sukh means the happiness that you called. Samriddhi means development. Development, your money earning, as you are a human being in the society, you must have some needs, wealth, good house, a car, etc. This your need or actually it is samriddhi, But whether there must have some relation with sukh and samriddhi. Okay, then if the samriddhi is they will have to give you the proper happiness, then your relations between Sukh and Samriddhi will be properly balanced. And another thing, I am the physical needs. So physical needs and mental needs that I already will talk to you, and that will be you. And another thing, terminology is sanjam, there is sannam and sastha. A sastha, there is health, physical health and mental health, both are required. But for the development of sastha, there is physical health and mental health. It is required the sanyam, sannam, control. So control your food, control your aspiration, control your desire. Desire must be there. Everyone must have some desire, but must have some control. Then the balanced sastra, that is in physical and mental health, will be developed. So in this case, you must have to go through some exercises, physical exercises and mental exercises. And next thing is that the trust. There is a trust and trifty. So you have to trust to others and trust to another thing. Actually, total human society belongs to a entity, that is trust. If you have trust on your values, then you will give the value. Suppose some things that whatever I am earning member, that I want to get it for my development, for my pleasure. That means you don't have the trust of the human values. Human values which is associated with the development or the betterment of the society. If you have that trust, have that belief on these values, then you will not see only the achievement or the development or only yourself. Okay? Then you will use yourself, you will engage yourself for the benefit of the society. That is, and another is respect. So say values, respect to yourself and respect to others. Respect doesn't mean that you have to respect the bad thing also. Your education, the proper value-oriented education will give you differentiate which is good or which is bad. And then you will isolate them, and only in this case you will have trust on those good things. So that is, and another is a value bonding. That is another thing. I have seen very few professional or the established person I have seen, he or she has not relation or contact with even the family members also. I am excluding the better relations with the other people of the society. Even inside the family, there is no good relations, but must have some good relation with the family members also. So that is and another the coexistence. Suppose another very sustainable. That thing I am telling you, whenever for our betterment, not only betterment of yourself, for the betterment of the society, urbanization is being done, destroying the forestry and etc. or the other animals. But it is needed, So we are taking food, must to take some plants, fruits, etc. And for the betterment of your pleasure, you have to prepare a building, destroying the plants and trees, etc. Even you have to kill some animals for your existence. So whether we are doing wrong, like because we are destroying, we are killing some animals for our existence, we are destroying some forest or trees and etc. For our better urbanization, whether it is wrong. No, you cannot speak directly wrong, but must have some balance. Whatever is needed only for the betterment, for the society, at the same time, you have to think about the total globalization, global development. You see the global warming and global problems are there. So you have to look after that. Otherwise, one side you will develop the development of the society, other side the other things will be destroyed. Okay? So must have some balance. Then that is called the existence of coexistence. Coexistence in the society, it is a main focus of your education, you know. So that thing, and the last thing I will speak you, just a minute. One thing, definitions of ethical human conduct basis for humanistic education. This is the main thing, humanistic education. Human being, after all you are a human, the highest animal of the society. So what you will do is the highest achievement or the effect of the society. So everything you have to do in humanistic behavior. You have to feel you be an engineer, you be a doctor, but above all you are a good human. You must have some ethics, must have some worldwide developmental concept in you. That is the humanistic education that I am telling you. Another is the effect of technologies. You know the technology is required for the development of society. But this technology, how will you use it, that depends upon you. Whether this technology will be used for the development of the society or the destroying something. Even if technology is being used for the war. At present in this world, the tremendous war is being done in different parts of our world, you know. So, war is needed or not, there is another question. But main thing is the technology being used. It is very dangerous thing. It is being used for the destruction of the mankind, you know. A human destruction is being done. So use of technology, that is the main concept. How will you use your technology, your skill, and development or invention of technology for the better prospect. Okay? Atom was invented for the urbanization, for the development of the society, to destroy the hills and etc. for our development or livelihood. But it has been or it is being used for the bad way, that is the war. So your technology, what you are inventing, it is not bad, but its proper use is essential. And it will be possible if you have ethical value education exist in you. That is why I am asking you, you will think about this value orientation or ethical education. So that is the main key points of these courses, that is the UHB, Universal Human Values Education, and already UGC has been adopted. So I think it should be applied, it should apply yourself for your whatever you are studying in your subject. But at the same time, you have to think that you are human, overall you are human. And human means you will be doing something for the society, for your family, and overall the society that can be fruitful for all the benefits of our every people, you know. So that is from from my side, the University Human Knowledge. So next day I will specifically tell you something next day. Oh, thank you too much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. So we are almost end to the program. Are you hungry? Yes. Since morning only sessions are there. Okay, so I'll not take much time. So we are almost into the program, and to deliver the vote of thanks, I would like to call Dr. Priya Mitro, Head of the Department from Education. Ma'am.
A very good afternoon to all the students. So, I just convey my gratitude and my thanks, heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished speakers who delivered their speech today. I'd like to mention their name: Dr. Atanu Kotal, Mrs. Ariti Nath, Dr. Dipankar Mishra, Dr. Sumantra Chakraborty, Dr. Suparna Ghosh, Mrs. Mumala Bhattacharya, Dr. Samir Dev, Mrs. Archita Pal, Mrs. Devmitra Ghosh, and Professor Swadesh Ranjan Samanta sir, and obviously Anubha madam for your support. Thank you so much, and our obviously our students for your patience. So now you can go for your lunch. And one announcement from my side for B.Ed students, please